Welcome back, my dear students. In this lecture, we are going to finally see our project in our local computer. All right. So what I want to do is I first want to fix the URL, because right now to go to our project, we will have to type in a lot of things, right? And we don't want to do that. So I want to set up our host file. I want to set up our YAML file with Homestead. If you don't know how to do that, look for a course on Homestead in Laravel. And that should have been a requirement for this course. So make sure that you check me out first. If I don't have it, then check somebody else for it. But anyway, so how are we gonna do this? We first have to go to our host file in our computer. So for Windows users, you gotta go to your path, and Mac users, we gotta go to our path here to do that. All right, in the first course on Laravel, I showed you how to do that too, how to go to your host files for Windows users. So in the Mac, we go and do this. We go, for example, to I am in the home directory. So make sure that you are in the home directory, and then go to your CD. Let's set up our host first. So let's go to CD /, then we go, let's do sudo for super user nano. Then we go to this folder and host. There we go. And here, so for some of you, it's gonna ask you for a password. So make sure you type your computer password. We're gonna say, this IP is always gonna be the same for all your Laravel projects, okay? Unless you change it. But this is what it is here. So we're gonna name our app. Well, we already named our app, Heroku app. And we're gonna give it this extension here, DEV. So when we type this in the browser, we're gonna be able to see our app, right? All right. So hopefully I'm spelling this correctly, and Control H, and yes, there we go. Now we got to go set up our YAML file. So for that, we go to home, and in writing home, we go to a folder called Homestead, like this. And let's actually go there right away. So nano, sudo nano, Homestead. There we go. And this is our YAML file. So what I want to do is I want to copy one of these guys out. And for those of you that took that course with me, the Laravel for Beginners, you know how to set this. Well, not the Laravel for Beginners. If you're taking any Homestead courses, you know how to do this. So here we're gonna map our application, whatever the user types in the URL, to our Vagrant. All right, so here we're gonna say, okay, when they type in, this has to be the same one that we did in the host file, Heroku app DEV, like this. And here we have to give it the same name as the folder we have. Hopefully we're spelling that correctly. Heroku, there we go. Little confusing with the app, and you have this extension here, the app. So let's close this, and hopefully if everything works out correctly, it works. Make sure that you have your keys installed, and this is something that you do in the Homestead course. You set up a key, and the key is gonna be your home directory .ssh. That's where you're gonna have your key here, your public key, and your secret key here. Okay, so that's something that you should have learned when you are installing Homestead, right? So Control X, and yes, there we go. Now we need to restart this. We need to actually provision our Vagrant server. So let's go to this Homestead file here. This is where our Vagrant machine is, our Vagrant configuration. As you can see, Vagrant file right here. And then we're gonna say Vagrant provision. There we go. Now, if everything worked correctly, we should be able to see this in the browser. Heroku app.dev. And as you can see, it works. Now we can go ahead and enter our information. and we should be able to even see this in the database as well. Oops. If I can get my app to work with me, that would be nice. Let me see right here. And we have not even connected locally to it. So Heroku locally, and I forgot the, let's go back to, this is localhost of course, but what I don't remember was the 5420. Let me go back to the 54320, and then we got to give it a user, and the user is always going to be, well, unless you change it, Homestead, and the password secret, and of course you give it a database. Let's see if we can connect to it like this. User, let's go back, Heroku app _DB. There we go. All right, so that's our user there. Pretty cool stuff. Let's do it again just to make sure that that's working. This is our local app. Let's log out, and let's register somebody else. Let's register Maria. She's very popular at coding school. I'm joking, guys. I don't have a Maria in coding faculty. All right, and register. There we go. And if we refresh, you can see Maria right here. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so we're done with this lecture, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, my dear students.